Georgia Tech head coach Josh Pastner. Coach, if you could open up the statement for questions.
Yeah, first of all, I want to give a lot of credit to Lamar and Coach Price. He does a great job there at Lamar. He's done a great job with the program. I've known Coach Price for a long time, so I want to give him a lot of credit for the job he's done at Lamar. Secondly, was really proud of our guys. At first 25 minutes, we really had great energy and played well. I thought the last 15, our energy level dropped, and that's just part of, as I said, we're a brand new team basically with this season, and that's just something our guys have got to figure out the difference in the field between when you're playing with that energy and when the energy level drops. And obviously we're just a better team when we're playing with the right energy. I love the fact that, and I've said this many times, when you're shooting the ball like we did tonight, everything is just better. And so I was happy about that. We had 26 assists on 32 made field goals, which is outstanding. We have a goal to get 60% of our field goals assisted every time we play, so that was an outstanding stat for us. We had 5, we call them kills, 5 kills, 5 3-stops in a row during the game today. In the first half, we didn't have any the second half. So again, that's a direct reflection on Lamar having a really good second half. Of course, we missed some free throws, but there was a lot of positives in the game, and it was a good win. It was a good first win, and I was proud of our guys. And we got a lot to clean up and get better at, and we will do that. Shabari, Jose, and Michael DeVoe had 9 of our 15 turnovers. So those guys in the backcourt, we just got to take care of the ball. And I thought Michael DeVoe he's been back for about a week and a half now. I was a little rusty, obviously, but he will. The more time he gets, he'll be better, and the more conditioning he'll be better. So a lot of good to take from, and a lot of opportunities to get better with the film, and we'll do that on Sunday. And most importantly, let's get a win tomorrow versus Miami, so we get bowl eligible.
Did that energy level have anything to do with all the different combinations you were using out there?
On which energy? The first 25 or the last 15?
Last.
The last 15. Well, part of it, we were up. I probably, I felt pretty comfortable, and I put a young group in there, and that's when they made their run. But those guys are going to have to learn from it. Look, it's Khalid Moore. I think Khalid's going to be excellent. I think Christian Soldian's going to be really good. They're freshmen, okay? And Michael DeVoe is going to be a really, really good player. He's going to, the more he gets into conditioning, he's got a chance to really impact this season. But I think all 3 freshmen, and for Khalid and Christian, the future is extremely bright for them. And it's just, it's hard to play everybody. It is. And so in that last group there, we had when they made that run, we had a young group, but that's part of them learning. They've got to keep the foot on the gas. There can't be a letdown on that. And there was a couple defensive segments where we gave up some intensity level there and ended up biting us in the rear.
Josh, do you attribute the rash of fouls down the stretch to the drop in energy, or?
Yeah, look, these guys these are human beings. They're 18 to 22-year-olds. You're up a lot. You're playing with great energy. Just natural tendency. It's, the goal isn't trying to have that for 40 straight minutes. I think anybody understands it's hard to do. If you could do that 40 minutes every single day, that type of energy, you're going to go undefeated. But you see games just like the other night where Kansas played, Michigan State. They're up a lot, and all of a sudden Michigan State makes a run. It's just a weird thing in basketball, and that's what you're constantly teaching. That when you have somebody down, how to keep them down. And just by normal human tendency for players, they let their guard down when there's an opportunity, when they're up. And so as a coach, you see it. You can see it. So you're constantly on them, making sure to understand that. So I think part of the fouls, it got a little choppy there. But hey, if we were fouling, we were fouling, and we got to defend without fouling. And that was a big thing. We got to defend without fouling.
I'm sure you came into the game expecting to play best. More minutes tonight than he played all last season, and that had to be kind of interesting to see.
Well, Sylvester, again, he has gotten better. And you can see it tonight. And I've said this from the beginning. We have to be perfect in player development. and every guy that has played for us, you know, has gotten better, and that's a credit to the staff. I've got you know, I've had my third year here. I've had great assistant coaches. I've had, you know, great just support staff, strength coach, all that stuff. But the assistant coaches have done a tremendous job in player development, and we've got to be perfect on that. And you can see Vess's improvement. And I'll tell you, in our scrimmage, he produced. In our exhibition game, he produced. And tonight, he produced.
You talked about wanting him to keep things simple. Did you see that tonight?
His only issue was at the half court when he caught the ball, because I trust him to catch it there. He tried to dribble it. It's not his job. We work on pivots all the time. We work on pivot work all the time. And we have 4 different types of pivots that we use. We actually use them as we call them different names. We call it a pancake, a waffle, a donut, and a bagel. And those are our pivots that we use. We use 4 pivots, and we work on them at all times. And so Vess caught the ball there, and there's no need for him to dribble the ball. Other than that, he played a great game.
Did you enjoy it? I imagine the backdoor pass he had to.
That was excellent. That was a great job, and we got to be better at some things offensively. When I got a little helter-skelter, we got a little out of sorts, but we just had to make plays, and obviously, we're going to live a lot of times by the 3-point shot. So I'm hoping we don't die by it, but we're going to live a lot by the 3-point shot because I really believe in our shooting ability.
Coach, you had 8 players go 15 minutes or more tonight. Is that indicative of the way you want to see things go forward?
I would prefer to play 6 guys, and but we don't have a lot of separation. And if we're going to press and play a little wild, or when I say wild, helter-skelter in a sense, you're going to have to play more guys. And so I'm more comfortable playing 6 or 7. I've always been that way, but for this year, because of we don't have a lot of separation. And until we get that, we're probably going to play a lot of guys.
Do you foresee any changes in the starting 5 on Tuesday?
Not as of right now. I don't foresee anything as of today.
When you talk about separation, you mean like talent-wise?
Just, there's a total separator. You could just see it, one guy is not ready and the other guy is just more ready to play the minutes. I'm telling you, the 2 freshmen, because the 3 freshmen are really good, but Michael DeVoe will eventually work his way into getting more minutes. But Khalid, Moore, and Christian Soldier are going to be very, very good players for us. I see their upside. But there's just going to be times hard to get them in, depending on the game, because we have other veteran guys and upperclassmen who are good players. And that's my point is we've got to, there's just not a lot of separation. Like, for example, Shabari Phillips is a good player. Now, he had 4 turnovers. He made a couple silly mistakes, but you see defensively he's pretty good. And so we'll just continue to figure out, it'll evolve. I think Georgia Tech fans are going to really like this team. I think the team's going to get better as the year goes on. We will continue to improve. And I will tell you that I know the team will, every game, will dive on the floor. They're going to compete. They're going to fly around. We might make some mistakes, but guys they're going to play relentless.
Seemed like,
speaking of that separation, Moses and Evan are 2 of the guys that are pretty much grouped.
Yeah.
Did Moses make a case maybe to get a few more minutes?
I mean, Moses played 17 minutes. Evan played 16 minutes. I mean, if we got to play 9, 10 guys, we'll figure it out. I mean, if I'm asking them to play that hard and dive on the floor, they're going to need some subs. So I got no problem adjusting. I'll have to adjust to the personnel. And if we've got to play deeper, we'll play deeper. And if we're asking them to play that hard and dive on the floor, they're going to need some subs here and there. And we'll just continue to figure it out. And hopefully we keep, the more guys, if we play, they get opportunities, and something later on in the year where they're called upon, where we need even more minutes, they're ready to go, and we'll just continue to figure it out.
What do you think about how Curtis played for you? He needs a boost in this?
Yeah, Kurt, he was 3 for 7. I thought he was going to get 4 assists, no turnovers. He had 4 assists versus the exhibition game on last Saturday. Cannon didn't have any turnovers either. The biggest thing for him is defensively when he gets a little tired, he is a letdown. We call it warring over, getting your lead leg over the screen. He turns his hip too much when he gets a little tired, so you can see that. But I needed him in the game just because of his, he's sound, especially late there, having to inbound the ball.
AD kind of played with his hair on fire, and it kind of showed in terms of fouls, but also had some nice defensive plays. But it's going to be tough to manage.
AD's a very, he was just a tough day for AD. He got a little foul trouble there, and he's an emotional young man. He's a phenomenal young man. I mean, there's not many better than AD. And he's got emotion, and I love his emotion. He's just got to channel it, making sure he doesn't get himself, where he gets frustrated. He's not real effective when he's frustrated. He's really effective when he's playing with great emotion, channeling that energy the right way. But when he gets frustrated with energy or emotion, that's when he gets himself, struggling.
Between
now and the next game, what are some of the things you need to focus on?
Obviously we got to clean up some of the things on our press break. We'll clean up on some of that stuff, and it was interesting. We pressed against each other every day in practice. So, and again, we were fine. It was just late in the last 8-9 minutes we struggled. So we'll get better at that, and there'll be some other things. I need to watch the tape and really dissect. We've got to be better. Probably a couple things in transition defense and conversion from the press once they beat the press back to our half-court defense. So. Defensive rebounding, they hurt us on the glass a little bit. I didn't feel our guards stuck their nose in there enough to come up with defensive boards, so we'll continue to get better at that.
You had some major issues off made baskets trying to inbound the ball against the press. I imagine that was a little frustrating to see, even with some of your veteran guys.
Yeah, there's a couple times there, and Jose wasn't starting where he needed to start properly, and we just had some, and again, that's you can just sense it in the building, and you can just sense it where things were getting, the energy level is different, and so our cutting wasn't as sharp. And then we also missed some free throws, which allowed them to get some momentum. Like Brandon missed 2 free throws. I mean, then they come down and score. So, all those things that our whole survivability with our team is on the way we cut, on how hard we cut, and then. In the second half, we weren't cutting hard enough in the full court to get the ball open, and that's a direct reflection of why they got some steals. We've got to be the hardest cutting team.
Anything else? All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay.